It's the 25th of November 2018. I'm David Griffin and I'm here at West Hallam White Rose Cricket Club and I'm talking to
Derek Hall,
John Burton,
Graham Gamble
and Mick Brown.
Gents, thanks very much for joining us. We've reached the point in the day where we're going to look at the, shall we say, the glory years of West Hallam White Rose Cricket Club. But if I could just get a little flavour from all of you about when you first started playing for West Hallam and a bit about your background. So if we could start with you.
I came to West Hallam in 1972, having previously played with Stanley St Andrews as a junior until I was about 18, and then I joined Ilkeston Municipals, which was the council side in Ilkeston, and I played there. And I used to play with Ilkeston tradesmen on a Wednesday afternoon when John played, and John and Mick both played, and for 2 or 3 years while we were playing there they kept having a go at me about joining West Hallam, and eventually I was the captain at Municipals, and they hadn't got a great playing strength, and I was reluctant to leave them in the lakes like sort of and everything. So eventually my brother said to me, I think you ought to move into play higher cricket, like try and have a go at it. So I made the decision to join, and I joined on the same day as Graham did.
So if we just go to Graham then, what was your cricketing background?
Well, played with John at the grammar school. I used to play with Old Ilkestonians, which was the old boys, the teachers.
Yeah.
Because they played league cricket. They went to league cricket early. And then I stopped playing because I was playing music, I was playing in a band, and I just packed up, and then in touch with John and what have you, and got me playing again 72. So I'd not played for a few years, but yeah, and that was it. Yeah.
Mick?
Well, I said earlier, I did actually start with Chaddisden in the junior side there when Graham Clark, who was on Radio Derby for a long time, Graham Clark was playing amongst 1 or 2 others that in that Chaddisden side, but then I started the railway and joined Red Rose. From Red Rose it was after about 5 years I think I was Red Rose. I joined Scarsdale, and then it was from then on I met John, and from then it was West Hallam, and I've been ever since really. Yeah.
John, your earliest days, I know you talked to us in a previous interview, you started scoring.
I started scoring when I was 12 in 1955, and gradually moved into playing, turn up at practice nights and eventually play, that's the story really.
Yeah. Well, the records show that by 1976, 77, 78 and that sort of the decade onwards, West Hallam became one of the powerhouses really of local cricket. So you're playing in Border League cricket at the time. Yeah. I think 76 was the first time you finished as runners-up.
Runners up, and then
so was there a sense of, as this team came together, that there was something exciting happening and that you were developing well?
Yeah. Things happened once it there like that. One of the big things was, I think about 1973 time, Dave Whiteace joined West Hallam. And then we, as I said before, our headquarters before the bar was in the pavilion was the White Hart. We was in there at the selection committee on a Monday night when the phone rang, and Pete said to, can somebody take this phone call? And it was Morris Lawson. Said he'd come to live in the area and he was looking for a game of cricket. And the decision was took to put him in the second team on the Saturday, and he went with the second team to Littleover, and one of the bowlers, an older player, Tony Alsop, who played with the seconds, came back and said he won the game on his own, basically. What's it there like that? And my memory of him is, and I shall never forget it, we had a friendly at Belper Meadows the very next day, and we asked him to play in that. And I can remember fielding a backward short leg, and Barry Eccleston was playing for Belper Meadows, and John bowled to Barry Eccleston, and he went to play it down the leg side and lifted his foot, and Morris had got the bails off, and course, the Monday night, there was no question about it, is in the first team. And I think about the second match, we played Darlydale at West Hallam, and he just smashed Darlydale out of the park, he did, like I said there, which was absolutely unbelievable. And so, of course, we've got Dave Whitehair's a multi-talented cricketer,
Yep.
very multi-talented, could bowl quick, he could bowl
Off
cutters,
cutters, off break.
and then he'd bowl spin, because he'd got great big hands, and turn the ball on the right sort of wicket, literally unplayable, like sort of, and then Morris behind the stump. Everybody just gelled round it, and of course, everybody went up a notch, and everybody sent success.
Yeah,
And I think that's
the
really
feeling,
key.
it wasn't it, Mick? It
Morris
was
Lawson's Morris's background was
Lancashire League cricket,
Yeah.
Lancashire League
Farsley,
cricket,
and
so
he bought some of that
into our game.
team.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
yeah,
really
ruthless
did.
Morris behind there. Obviously, Lancashire League. I mean, he kept wicket to the likes of Charlie Griffith and what have you.
He played at Haslingden. isn't
Dennis
he?
Haslingden, yeah.
Yeah, his big claim is also he got a stumping off
Dennis Lilly.
off Dennis Lilly.
Yeah.
I don't many can
I don't
claim
think
better
even
than
Rodney
him.
Marsh did that.
No, Rodney Marsh
The other
could do
thing
that.
as
Do you ever
well,
find out, was Lily bowling gentle cutters
We don't know.
or was
We
he
don't know.
bowling?
we
Well,
were hoping
he'd
he'd
never
be
come out
here.
with that one.
No.
We're hoping
Morris tells a tale that on a Friday night, when they got one of these West Indian quicks playing against them, they used to water the run-ups. And so he said he'd seen bowlers running up there and there'd be water coming over the boots on a sunny afternoon.
Well, the other claim to fame for Morris was he stalked Kevin Hector
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
in the Butley Cup
Butley Cup,
final on the British Rail ground,
Yeah.
and Gerald Mortimer in the
Telegraph.
And
he
Jeff
really
Humphreys.
slated him.
And Jeff
But-
Humphreys went to town with him over it and
Yeah.
everything there. But I were captain of the side, and Len Simpson was umpiring.
Give him out.
And
He gave him out.
Give him out, yeah.
what happened was, the ball went to third man. John, I shall never forget it, because I were at square leg, and I said there, and John Humphreys threw this ball back in, and Morris saw Hector walking off
went
up the
gardening.
wicket.
Gardening.
He went gardening up the wicket, so Morris
How's
took
that?
the bails off, and of course Len Simpson just said, and of course
Big headline.
they come to me and said, what's it? And I said, I go by the umpire's decision. I says, the umpire's give you out. I says, that's fair enough. You should know
What's
better."
interesting about that is, of course, in an earlier interview where we were talking to you, John, about the desire at West Hallam White Rose Cricket Club back in the old days was we don't want to
We
play
don't play-
competitive
yeah.
cricket. We don't want
Yeah.
and now
It's all
suddenly you're
changed.
playing,
It's all changed.
playing a level of
It's all
cricket.
It's all
In
radically
12 years, it's
It's
totally changed, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
radically
Yeah.
changed.
Absolutely. So you had two runners-up spots.
Runners up,
76,
runners up, and then
77.
won it,
Were you
yeah.
close to winning in the two runners-up
Yes.
years?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
we're
very
close.
close.
We're always
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
contention.
And who pipped you to the post those years? Can you remember?
I think Quorndon one year.
Yeah.
I think Quorndon one year. That's it. They won it. I'm not sure who they won.
No,
it.
it'll be in the.
Yeah.
And who were your who were your natural playing rivals in those days? Into who was going for the title?
Langham Mill.
Langham Mill was-
Basically.
Historically,
Langham
Langham
was
Mill.
there.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
was
And who did they have playing for them that was a particular?
Well, of
name?
course, they have Borrington played
Borrington,
there.
Borrington.
That's it there.
Fred Swarbrick.
They got
Fred
Jeff
Swarbrick.
Smith. Jeff Smith. Swarbrick played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did West Hallam at that time look at players who were either county players or overseas players?
Well,
I'm
what-
talking mid-70s now.
What happened? Dave's brother Vic had a butcher's shop with flats over, and through Mike Hendrick, who lived in our village, he said that Derbyshire were looking for somewhere to put
Digs.
some digs up, and we ended up. We got John
John
Wright,
Wright,
Peter
Peter
Kirsten,
Kirsten.
Barry Cooper,
Yeah.
and eventually others
Others
followed.
had
Paul
followed, yeah,
Newman,
naturally. Yeah, Broomy.
Broomy, you know, and
Forte,
Of course, and then it was funny. But we won the Jackson Cup on both the years. We won the championship.
Yeah, well, if I could just go take you then to 78, was
Yeah.
there a sense, having been runners-up twice, that
Yeah.
you were due to
This
actually
is
win?
it.
yeah.
yeah, the changing room was
Yeah.
was always, you
Roy
know, we're
bubbling,
going to win.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
bubbling.
And who was
bubbling.
captain of the side then?
John.
I was,
You were
Yeah, John captain. of the
So
side.
78, you did the double. So what was that like for a club,
Yeah.
a village club like West Hallam, small village, small ground?
Yeah.
Hitherto, only 16 years previously, was still playing friendly cricket. What was it like for you?
It was
It
fantastic.
was
Fantastic,
it
yeah,
was just,
fantastic.
you were on a high all the
mean,
while,
yeah,
wasn't you? You were on a high all the while.
the,
You were never going to lose.
the,
In the changing room, and you were never going to lose.
No.
It was
Didn't matter what
unbelievable.
situation.
Was there any point during the season where you weren't at the top of the table, or were you there all the time?
I think
there
we
most of the
were up
time.
there all
All
the time.
the
yeah.
while, yeah.
And we certainly didn't need any motivating.
No,
no.
no.
Particularly when we were playing like Langley Mill, it was the big match
Yeah.
of the year, and everybody was switched on them
Well,
2
it-
or 3 weeks before.
And what were your roles? What did you just tell me a bit about what you actually did? Batting, bowling, keeping, or whatever.
Well, I was the opening bat with people like Dave Whitehead, who Derek said was exceptional cricketer, no question about that. And so I got a few runs, and I think it's fair to say that we all learnt a lot with having these pros playing with us. You know, we picked up tips and we got better players as the seasons
That's right,
went on.
yeah.
Graham?
Yeah, fast
Nas-
ball,
nasty fast
nasty
bowler.
fast bowler, bent arm, call you what you like, yeah. Just used to let it go.
You have to tell me, I can't remember, I have to confess for the camera, that you and I go back a long way.
Yeah, we
I don't know
do,
whether
yes,
you
we
told
do.
me this or
Yeah.
somebody else told me this,
Yeah.
about a cup final or a game at Beach Avenue,
Beach
Beach
Lane.
Lane,
Yeah.
where you had to bowl the final over of a game and you bowled 6-leg stick Yorkers or something. Well, did you tell me that story? Or did
No, I
somebody
didn't tell you
else
that
tell
story. No, I can't
Does it
remember
ring any
that.
bells?
No, that doesn't ring any bells.
Oh,
no.
you're being very modest, Graham.
It does ring a bell with me, Graham.
Well, tell us,
Doesn't ring a
mate.
bell.
Tell us.
No, I think that this side were looking as if they were almost there, and Graham had the last over, and I think the instruction was just bowl it short over his head, and Graham bowled about at least 5 of these that went whistling over the wicket keeper there.
Which you got away with.
And in those days you got away with it. And to be fair, the bloke at the other end wasn't good enough to get, it was probably number 10 or 11, wasn't good enough to get anything on it.
Your claims to fame, batting, bowler?
Bit of
Yeah, all-rounder,
all-rounder,
They're all being very modest, aren't they?
Left hand bat, right hand bowler.
yeah.
Really?
No, left
Right hand bat.
right hand bat,
left
left hand
hand
bowler.
bowler.
Right hand bat, left hand bowler,
Yeah.
left arm.
Derek uphill, me down.
Yeah.
8 for 9 against Alfred and mine were best, wasn't it?
Oh, come on, then tell us what's your best. What's your best, Graham?
I wouldn't know, Dave. I wouldn't know, honestly.
Top
I
score?
wouldn't know.
Top score?
They're very
I
modest.
think about 74. But
Well,
I used to open with Mick when I first came to the
How many
club.
hundreds, Mick?
Only one.
Yeah.
Only one, yeah. Yeah, I did, only got one, yeah.
I got 118 not
The
adding
trouble was
in.
that we didn't have enough overs for me to get under, that's the
I
problem.
think I did about 74. But what happened was, when I joined the club were, what happened on that day, there was not only just Graham and me joined, there was the Aitons Brigade joined,
Yeah.
weren't they, and everything, and that was starting to get us back to a settled side. It was a rebuild like sort of, and
Yeah, it
everything
was,
as
yeah.
it was, and it went on. And I opened the batting, but I shall remember the first game I played was against Belper Amateurs, and I didn't open the bowling. He bought me on first change, Fran did, bought me on first change, and I shall always remember Fran's comments, what was it? He said, I didn't realise you were quite as quick as that, like, sort of, and everything. So, the next weekend, I'm bowling, 23 overs. And I was bowling 23 overs. And then when Whitehace joined the club, Whitehace wanted to bowl downhill. Well, I'd been bowling downhill, so the decision was that I would bowl up the slope. But they used to set me in motion, and I'd just carry on bowling and bowling and bowling. Well, they weren't scoring great amounts of runs off me.
Yeah.
You know, once I was probably bowling 23 overs for less than 50 runs, which meant that it didn't matter about if he didn't take mountains of wickets, he was controlling things. So my batting suffered from that, so because I was bowling a lot, so the decision was took to drop me down the order.
1982 we won I think that was the first year of the
County League, yeah. Well,
we won that, and we won it at our old adversaries, Langley Mill, on their ground.
Yes. Yeah.
We didn't. We didn't.
Losing draw.
Losing draw.
You
We
had to
only
get
had to
losing
losing
draw.
draw to
You
get
had to
enough
get losing
points.
I think
draw.
I batted with you all the way
You
through.
did, yeah,
that one.
yeah.
Because I was
Yeah.
quite confident. I put a
With
bottle of
the
champagne in my bag.
Really?
Yeah.
Just going back to 78, which did you win first, the league or the cup?
Jackson.
You won the cup first.
Oh, Jackson would be played. Jackson would be played the end of July.
Right.
Yeah, the end of July. So that would be the first.
And had other teams done the double before? That you knew of?
No.
I would think
I think
people
like- I
like
think
Fun
Oxford
and
might
August
have
and
done.
Bob probably
Yeah,
did,
yeah.
to be fair, yeah. Because they were very dominant prior to.
Did we win the
Right,
Jackson
it was
Cup the same year, 1982?
Yeah. No, 81.
Yeah, 81 you did the
81.
double again,
And
didn't you?
81
So
yeah.
what happened in
Double.
79
That was
and 80?
Dallas Moyer was playing for us, though.
Dal came
But then
in
Barry
for-
were there, weren't he?
Barry Cooper and
Barry
Dallas
Cooper
Moyer.
first.
Well, I mean,
Barry and Dallas played in the same year, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was 81, was it?
Yeah.
So what happened in 79 and 80? Just not, you presumably still up there.
Yeah,
weren't
we
you?
were
Yeah.
still
Yeah,
there.
we were
Yeah,
there,
in danger,
thereabouts.
was it?
Yeah.
It was still going, what's it?
You mentioned Barry Cooper there, and I did
Oh.
read a piece in I think it was the 75th anniversary booklet that was produced in the 90s about the leagues.
Yeah.
And somebody who was writing a piece said that Cooper was as good an overseas player as the county had ever seen in
Yeah.
Not seen
league
one since.
cricket.
Yeah.
What was his background then? He's from New Zealand?
From
Yeah.
no, yeah.
North
North
Island.
yeah.
Island.
Yeah.
As I say, the year after he left, he went back to New Zealand. He played for Northern Districts against England,
Yeah.
and he got a ton.
Yeah.
That's how good a player
Right,
he was.
And how would you? What was the contact for Cooper then? How
That
would you
was
got
John
Cooper?
Wright.
John Wright,
Through
yeah.
John Wright
right.
lived in the village in
Yeah.
over Vic's
kids,
shop,
yeah.
and he got him over for us.
So you won it in 78, did the double. 81 did the double. 82 won the.
Jackson Cup and the league.
Yeah. So what period did the? I'm not suggesting the glory years just disappeared just like that, but there must have been a period presumably where it kind of dropped off a bit. Was that because you were coming to the end of your careers? and-
Yeah,
Age-
yeah,
age-
We're starting
just
to catch
age,
up with
yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
Yeah.
New players come
Yeah.
through, and
Some of the kind of semi-pros we had went to the same standard
Yeah.
as
As
Barry
originally,
Cooper
yeah.
and Dallas
Yeah.
Absolutely exceptional player.
and Dave Whitehurst as
I
well.
mean, what's it? You take Cooper. One game I remember stand in your mind forever. We played at Quandon on a glorious sunny afternoon, and about 27 overs gone. Barry were 129 not out, and Morris ran him out.
Yes.
What he did, and he was fuming because he was going for the biggest score ever been done in the border league and everything, and there were bowlers there walking about. Underwood, wasn't it?
John
Yes,
Morris.
Stuart, Johnny Morris,
John
John Morris,
Andy
Stuart
Acton,
Underwood, Andy
went
Acton,
to
yeah.
field up boundary. I
Yeah.
can't bowl. Nobody wanted to bowl at him. Honestly, was it?
He did, yeah. Still, yeah.
It was absolutely unbelievable, wasn't it, the way the bloke. I mean, I think, if I'm not mistaken, around about 1,700 runs he scored for West Hallam, I think, that season he was here.
Yeah.
He was an exception, but he was a fitness fanatic and he expected everybody else to be up to the mark.
And what age was he when he came
About
here?
26, I think.
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that, I think so.
He played with Derby seconds, didn't
Yeah.
he? He
Yeah.
played had some games
Oh,
with
Yeah.
Derby
was it? He
seconds.
played
He got
at
100,
Middlesbrough.
He got it,
100 for Derbyshire, second at Ena, didn't he?
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
he was. He went to Middlesbrough and he played against Andy Sidebottom because they'd been injured. And he got a double ton.
Really?
He got
Yeah.
a ton in both innings.
Yeah.
He come back with a trophy, really. He got him a trophy as man of the match for that.
Yeah.
He was an
Exceptional
exceptional
cricketer.
best player, and I've been round grounds, and best player I've seen even today in
Yeah.
the Border League. And these overseas players and everything, they wouldn't live with him.
Well, thanks for your recollections, gents. I'm sure we're going to come back and revisit them in a minute, but for now, thank you very much indeed.
Yep.